So moving on to Veeva Systems, they released earnings on Tuesday. This is the software as a service company focused on the healthcare industry. They started as a sort of drug rep sales force, interactions with doctors, but have expanded into clinical trial and helped the industry in quite a bit of different ways. Revenue was up 27% for the quarter and 33% for the year. Most of that is subscription services, which are recurring. Those are definitely things that we like as long-term investors. Earnings per share were up 52% on a GAAP basis and 44% on an adjusted basis. So they're getting some margin improvements there. And then 2021 revenue guidance was for 1.755 to 1.765 billion. It sort of amazes me that they can set a range that's $10 million. That $10 million spread is 0.06% of the total. Yeah. That tells you how confident they are in being able to have those recurring revenues year after year. But it's only going to be up 20% compared to the fourth quarter when it was up 27%, and all of last year when it was up 33%. Seems like things are slowing down at Veeva. When you have sort of the entire industry as your customer, it can be hard to find future growth.
It can be, and it certainly does seem, like you say, Brian, that Veeva's growth is slowing. 20% growth sounds great until you compare it to what the company has been doing, and then it's not as stellar as what Veeva Systems has done in the past. I will say the company's guidance in the past has tended to be a little lower than their actual performance turned out to be, but not by an awful lot. So I think Veeva's guidance is probably going to be fairly good, fairly close to what they actually achieve. But they still have growth prospects. I mean, even with their large market share, they're still winning new customers, even with their CRM system, customer relationship management system, which was one of their older products. They set a record in the third quarter of 2020 with 19 new CRM customers, and in Q4 they were close to that with 17 new CRM customers. So they're still growing even in an established market like that.
That makes sense because you're going to have clinical stage biotechs that launch their first drug, and so those are going to be obvious new customers that wouldn't need Veeva's CRM before that.
Exactly, and that's where they see a real opportunity. In fact, they specifically mention that a lot, and I would venture to say most. They didn't provide a specific number, but most of those new CRM customers were clinical stage companies. So, yeah, I mean that's a real opportunity for them. There's also an opportunity just to get their existing customers on additional products. Veeva's done a great job of expanding their product line over the last several years. And a lot of their customers might just be on one of those products, but not on multiple ones. So cross-selling is definitely an opportunity for them. Then they're also expanding beyond life sciences. Obviously, life sciences has been their core focus since the company started, but they've moved into other industries, including consumer packaged goods, chemicals, and cosmetics. They've made some inroads. Now, it's still really early. It's still not a huge part of their business, but that is nonetheless a big opportunity for Veeva going forward. Look, the company thinks their total addressable market with their core products, Commercial Cloud and Vault, they think that total addressable market is $12 billion. That's about $6 billion each for those two products. Their 2021 projected revenue is a little less than 15% of that total addressable market. So Veeva certainly has an opportunity to continue growing, but I do think it's going to be more challenging to capture additional market share going forward. I think the easier growth is probably in their past, but I think the company could still deliver pretty strong growth for years to come.